And I'm alongside the head coach, brand new head coach of the Saanich Braves, Brent Polischuk. Great to meet you, Brent.
Pleasure to meet you.
And first of all, publicly here, congratulations. Look, I was talking to Norm the other night. You might have saw the interview. He mentioned that it was quite the process getting you hired. What was the nature of the delay?
Well, what happens, I'm in the financial services industry, and anytime we participate in what's called an outside activity, we actually have to get permission from our company. So there's a process. We fill out some forms, we send them back east, and once we get the okay to participate in the outside activity, so there's no conflicts or anything like that, then we're okay to step forward. So we were just waiting for that process to happen.
Good stuff. So you're now firmly established. We're actually obviously taping today's interview inside your office. Let's talk about what's happened since you've arrived on board. I understand one of the first things you and Norm discussed when you got hired, one of the first things you wanted, which really, I guess, the only thing you really wanted, you wanted to meet your players. Tell us how that first ice session or two went.
It went really well. Of course, when you're new to the program, you want to find out what's there, what's existing. You want to come in with a fresh start and a fresh look. So we had a couple of ice sessions last weekend, and it went really well. I got to know the players, put faces and names together, see what kind of team we have. There was some AP players, there were some kids who were getting invited to main camp coming out, so really got some broad strokes and a good feel for the team and where it's at right now.
Fantastic. I won't get into too many of the specifics. You may want to keep that quiet. We didn't discuss that pre-interview, but can you tell us just a little bit about maybe the makeup? Are we going to see a lot of last year's veterans back? Can you give us maybe a rough number, a core figure, which you're hoping to bring back? And then maybe could you follow that up with just your plans for a little bit of recruitment?
Certainly. Well, we have the potential to have roughly about 16 to 18 players back.
Wow, really? That much?
That many?
Oh, I thought you were going to give me a number much lower than that. Okay.
No, but that's the potential. Now, how many will actually end up coming back? There's different things.
Sure.
People are moving on to school, they're moving on to jobs. Of course, we had some players age out last year, but there's a good core of players, and it's a good foundation to build from, so I'm really excited about it.
Now, of course, this club, I don't need to remind you, but Norm and I were talking about this in our interview just a couple nights ago, has really come not just a long way, but an incredibly big distance in terms of the breadth of the club's potential in the last 36 to 48 months. What's it been like for you as an outsider looking in, probably not realizing you were going to get this opportunity to coach this club, unless you had some sort of prescient ability. But tell us what it's been like for you watching as a hockey man yourself, seeing the growth of this hockey club over the last couple of years.
Well, I was actually fortunate enough to have an inside look a few years back. My son Justin used to play back in the Brad Cook era. And Brad treated my son Justin very well, and he always talked about how well the organization was run. He actually compared it to a Junior A franchise, which I think is an ultimate compliment, and it speaks to the ownership. Ed and Norm do a great job, and now I'm able to see that firsthand on how they do run the club, how they treat the players, how they're involved in the community. So it's first class.
Well, it's funny too because Norm mentioned that when we chatted just a couple nights ago. He looked at his list of goals that he wanted to get done when he first came on board. I think he mentioned there was almost about a baker's dozen of them, if you will, and one of them was the new change room, which isn't so new. It's been now established for several years, but those are key features that really help players feel a sense of identity at home, and you've got that here with the Braves.
Exactly. It's a great change room. They've done a lot of good things. Nice coach's room, nice change room, nice trophy case. Like I said, they really model it almost like a Junior A franchise, and that makes the kids feel really special.
Let's talk a little bit about your philosophy as a coach, and in fact, let's start with that, and then I'd like to talk a little bit about your background. But just tell us a little bit quickly, Brent, about your philosophy, how you look at the game tactically and from a philosophical point of view.
Certainly. What you'll find from the Braves is we'll be a hard-working team this year, and hockey's really changed and evolved over the last 5 to 10 years. And if you can't skate, you can't play the game anymore. So the rules have changed, the pace of play has changed. So you're going to find an aggressive Braves team. We're going to skate. We're going to be tough to play against. We're going to be really aggressive in the offensive zone, really tough to play against in the defensive zone. So it'll be an entertaining brand style of hockey.
This rink, of course, Brent, as you know, smallest rink on Vancouver Island. Do you plan on using that as an advantage? How do you see the smaller confines of Pearkes?
100%. You want to take away time and space, and there's not a lot of time and space in Pearkes Arena. I actually grew up playing my minor hockey at Saanich, so I'm very aware of how small it is out there. So we're going to be on top of teams. We're going to make it very tough for them to play against us at home.
Good. Why don't you just tell the folks here just a little bit about your background, a little bit about what you've done with Hockey Canada, Hockey BC, and just where you've sort of worked your way through the coaching ranks.
That might take a while.
Well, we
got lots of time.
We got time. It's Friday. It's the beginning of the long weekend.
I've had a lot of experience on the high performance side in the province of BC and as well as with Hockey Canada. My most recent endeavor, I was actually involved in the World Junior program. I was helping out with Team USA, and as well as my assistant coaches. One was helping out with Kazakhstan, and the other one was kind of overseeing all the hosts and kind of our liaison. So. We've got some experience on the world stage where our whole staff has been involved in the high performance program in BC as coaches, as evaluators, as mentors, as director of operations. So we're going to bring in a pretty extensive hockey background to that.
I was going to ask you a little bit about your assistant coaches. Good segue there. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about your staff you plan on bringing in?
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring in a couple of veteran people. I'll bring in Bruce Tuck, who's been around for years and is actually a lifetime member at Saanich.
Okay.
I'm going to bring in Rob McGinnis, and then we're also going to bring in Jaron Hull, who was with the team last year. Yeah. And then we're looking at bringing in a few other younger coaches as well, because we want to set up a mentorship program as well, not only to help advance the players, but advance the coaches.
Sounds fantastic. Look, we'll close on this. It is, as I said, the beginning of the long weekend. I know I've got some plans. You probably do as well. Can you tell the fans, maybe in conclusion, just a little bit about how you see the month of August working out? Camp, pre-camps, or anything like that? What are your thoughts and general plans for August?
Well, it's really busy. You're not going to see a lot on the ice right now, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So we're getting main camp organized, which is going to start August 23rd. All the players will check in, consist of fitness testing, then they'll be on the ice for the next 5 or 6 days after that. Our first exhibition games will be home and home against the Victoria Cougars.
Right.
And so we're expecting probably 30 to 35 players to camp. It's going to be very competitive, and it's going to be a good season.
Good. Well, thanks for that. New head coach of the Saanich Braves, Brent Polischuk. Thanks for being alongside, Brent. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you very much.